Synchronised swimming requires strength, fitness, flexibility, and grace. Although Mark and I seriously lack the latter two aspects, we wanted to find out how we would fare at this Olympic sport. Hot off their Olympic debut at Tokyo 2020, Team GB duo Izzy Thorpe and Kate Shortman have kindly agreed for us to join them for a day of training, which apparently starts in the gym. And that was just the warm-up. Apparently, the hard work really begins now with an intense circuit of extremely diverse and taxing strength and power exercises.
What have you got to do?
Like go up and then...
Oh my goodness, that was tough. But before we follow the squad to the pool, I thought I'd take the opportunity to have a quick chat with the S&C coach to find out a little more about the physical demands of synchro swimming. Well, I think I'm saying thank you for putting us through our paces. What is the importance of the strength aspect with synchro swimming? Like, what do you really focus on with the girls?
An easy example is your overhead reach. If you came up like that, you'd score pretty low. So we need that extra height, and that extra height would come from hip flexor first, then your lat all the way through. So each muscle group we can work on specifically and then work on the ability to descend it. So someone miles away could really see that energy. And posture, if your posture's bad, as soon as you start to fall forward, you look scared. And synchro is about being up and confident, which could transfer to a lot of other sports, but that confident arrogance stood on the start line, well, here we go, 100-metre sprinter. Synchro effectively is that. You need that length in your neck, you need this posture. When you do your moves, they need to be really aggressive and powerful. And if you hit the water, you need to know you've actually hit it. You're not just dabbling and floating. So it's the combination. Some of the routine is flowy and some of it's really precise, and the judges need to see the difference between precise and flow, which is why their strength is a mixture of yoga, flowy movements, awareness, and then strength precision. So.
And how many gyms, like how much dryland work or gym work is involved per week, roughly?
So when we're on full season, we'll do 3 90-minute gym sessions a week, and then 3 90-minute in the pool, which is a combination of work on the side of the pool, like your core work, power work, band work, and then a mixture of speed swimming and weights in the water. So they'll have a heavy swimsuit, they'll have ankle weights, hand weights, and also with apnea training chucked in with that, so breath holding, underwater swimming, and then the routines with it. So as an example, they would do a 10-minute circuit on the side of the pool, 10 minutes speed swimming, and then the music will come on and they have to do the routine under that fatigue load, and then rest and repeat. So when you come to competition, you've got a light swimming costume and you're floating around.
So it's a bit like training in drag shorts or something for normal swimming?
Exactly like training in drag shorts for normal swimming.
Well, I think we've got plenty to work on, so we're ready to go and catch up with the girls and head to the pool, but thank you for your time, Llewellyn. With Kate, Izzy and the rest of the squad already in the pool training, we spoke to their coach and manager, Karen Thorpe, to find out what they had in store for us.
So yeah, I think that doing the first little bit of arms is going to be a good place to start, see how you get on. And then
once we've nailed that,
we can go upside down, and then there's a very small sort of upside down bit that they do that I thought would be a good place to kind of see how you get on with that.
Cool, should we get into the deep end? All right.
Now they're showing us how we stay upside down in the water. So yeah, we're used to doing some skull work, but not doing upside down, so this is quite tricky.
Well, I'm not really sure which way up I am at the moment, and I had no idea how much proprioception plays a part in this. I mean, there's just massive respect already, and I'm loving this, but it's kind of hard to learn something when you are a complete beginner and you're with Olympians here, so they're being amazingly patient, and we're going to keep trying, but I'm enjoying just watching the pros. They're incredible.
Are you worried that this is the first thing they're teaching you?
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm not really sure we're gonna, I was here thinking we're gonna do a routine at the end, and at the moment Mark and I are just trying to get our feet out of the water, so, but we are upside down, that's something. Well, we've just finished the warm-up, and Mark and I have now had a little insight into what might be in store, but whilst we take a rest, Kate and Izzy are going to give us a snapshot of their Tokyo routine.
That's actually insane. I mean, we can't even pop our legs up in the air, and they're doing all of that, the head below the water, legs flying up. Mind blowing, honestly.
Do you want to show us how far you can get your legs up again?
Not like this.
It's obvious that those sorts of skills, that strength and synchronicity takes years and years to develop. Well, it's time to find out how Kate and Izzy became Olympians in such an all-round taxing sport. So girls, how did you first get into the sport? I think that's what a lot of our audience would like to know.
Yeah, so I started from like a speed swimming background. So when I was probably about 5, a lot of my family are involved with aquatic sports. So like my uncle, who I think you've met, Craig, he went to the Olympics for water polo. My parents did swimming and synchro as well. So just like naturally got into it through that, really.
Yeah, it was similar for me. So my mum also did synchro with Kate's mum, so that's kind of how we met each other as well. And I did more gymnastics and got into it through that.
So yeah, I know you've been a duet for quite a while, but how long have you actually been working together as a pair?
12 years, is it? I'm not actually sure, but
yeah, 10 or 12.
We've known each other definitely like over a decade, well over a decade, been swimming together, and yeah, we're just like sisters, really. We just look like, yeah.
So I know you train ridiculously hard, but what does a normal week actually look like in terms of your training structure and hours?
So in the lead up to the Olympics, and that would be like a regular kind of thing that we'd be doing on the lead up to any competition, we were doing about 40 hours a week. So it's kind of split between 80% of it is of course like in the pool doing speed swimming, synchro and sculling drills routine, but then we would also do quite a lot on land, so like gymnastics, flexibility, yoga, S&C, so like it's really quite varied, and I think that's definitely one thing about synchro that I'm like so grateful for and I love about it, is that it's so varied. A lot of other sports are like quite one-dimensional. You do the same thing all the time, whereas synchro is like bits from everywhere, which is...
Yeah, it's always fun. There's never a dull moment because you're always doing something different. If you're not swimming, you're doing a bit of synchro, doing a bit of gymnastics. It's always really fun.
Well, obviously, we're triathletes coming from a swim, bike and run background, as are our audience. Are there any attributes that we might have that are going to cross over or help us in synchro swimming?
Oh, I think you'd have a big advantage coming from a swim background. I would say probably the main thing would be like the flexibility that you'd have to work on, and kind of like the grace. Like, it is that thing of you need the grace of a dancer, the cardiovascular endurance of a speed swimmer, but also the skill through the water of a speed swimmer that kind of gives people the upper hand. You know, it's not just one isolated movement that you're doing. It's, you have to travel at the same time, you have to coordinate a pattern with a partner while holding your breath and trying to look like graceful. So it's actually a lot harder than people realise, I think.
There's a lot of like things to think about as well. It's mentally a lot more challenging than people think. But I think for you guys, obviously the feel of the water, you'll definitely already have that. So that will definitely help.
So what are your goals going forwards for the sport as a whole, but also for your individual goals?
I think for the sport as a whole, obviously to try and get synchro's name out there, still keep growing the sport, because it's such a fun sport, and I think especially for younger kids to get into this, it's so diverse. Like we were saying, you're doing gymnastics, ballet, swimming, everything. It incorporates so much that it's really fun. So to definitely get more young girls and boys involved would be great.
Which I think is like sometimes you'll see like the school kids sat along the poolside watching us and they're like, wow, like how do they do that? Like,
And I do.
like it's just, I feel like it's just through lack of awareness and lack of a profile really for synchro that people aren't involved, and we just need to raise that profile and get people involved, which would be great.
And again, what about your individual goals?
Oh, yes.
Oh yeah, of course.
I think for us, we were planning to try and make a final at Worlds, but however, yesterday Worlds has been postponed. So obviously for when it is now, we still want to try and make a final. But I think long term, Paris 2024, trying to make the final there.
Yeah,
but just taking every day as it comes, really, just enjoying training at the moment, obviously year after the Olympics.
Yeah, climb the rankings. It's, as we said to you earlier, like it's so hard to do in synchro to climb up those rankings because it is quite a subjective sport, so the scores are really hard to kind of build them up. But yeah, obviously climb the ranking, do our best, and yeah.
Now we know why Kate and Izzy are so good. I'm not sure there's much hope for us, but it is time to try and put our newly learnt skills into some sort of routine.
Tub, star, well, you know, I said it was going to be basic. Now, this is very basic for them, but I'm watching this going, how? I think they're just going to get the routine, then hopefully break it down for us. Because, our movements I can do, but whether I can actually keep my body in the right position, got a way to go, I think. I'm talking for myself. Mark might be better.
Speak for yourself, Heather. I don't even know if I can get behind you.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 5.
After a few run-throughs of this beginner-style routine, Kate and Izzy have suddenly announced that Mark and I are to do it alone, whilst they watch and judge us.
Ready? 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And go. Oh, very good. Oh, I'm freaking out then. Oh.
So yeah, a little bit of technical analysis for you. The first bit was really good timing between you and nice travel, obviously.
Wow, this is very kind.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to carry.
Yeah, the travel was good, I thought. You remembered to travel that time when we were judging it.
Yeah, and then this was really good as well. Could have done with a bit more toe point and knee extension, just for those top marks.
There was a little bit of timing issues as well. You were sliding out of time on that bit, just towards the end of it.
Yeah, and then a little bit of a point deduction for your feet at the end of the back tuck roll.
You did a big splash.
Oh no.
But the last lift was really good when you did it together. So we came to an overall score of a 7.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, well done.
That's very kind.
That's very
We'll
kind.
take it.
Probably
I
too
think
kind.
that's due to the expert tuition that we had. Well, my goodness. I think hopefully it's shown you guys just how incredible these two ladies are, but how tough synchro swimming is. I mean, Mark and I both had an awesome time, but yeah, hats off to you guys and good luck for fingers crossed for Paris 2024.
Wow, Heather. Quite a day.
I mean, how did you find it?
It was really hard work. Like, I'm very sore right now.
I mean, like I said at the intro, we've got the strength and we've got some endurance and fitness. Do you think, did that take you anywhere?
Now look, I've always been respectful of synchro. I've watched them in admiration, but they make it look so effortless, and I sort of thought we might get away with it. And we've got the feel for the water, and definitely that helped us.
Yeah.
But just like the way they can just shoot their legs out of the water, then hold them. I mean, I just didn't have the strength for that. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I mean, you're quite good at the breath holding. That I'm terrible at as well. So like, I really found like, yeah, my swimming fitness didn't take me very far.
And as Kate and Izzy said, I didn't quite realise how much they moved around the pool, and they're holding their breath for sometimes like 20 seconds whilst doing all these movements.
Yeah.
Mind-blowing.
It really is,
Honestly,
isn't it? Yeah, but I mean, still, just a massive thanks to Kate and Izzy for their time. It was incredible and such an insight into a sport. I mean, I thought we were multifaceted doing 3, but it just shows how much goes into that. But Paris is only 3 years away, Mark. What do you reckon?
I think we might have left it a little bit too late, Heather. I might still give it a go. Some of those skills they taught us today was, yeah, it was pretty cool.
I reckon on the next shoot we're going to see you underwater practicing stuff, are we?
Yeah, but do keep an eye out for those two and the rest of the Team GB Synchro squad, because it's so impressive. Well, thanks ever so much everyone for tuning in today. I hope you've enjoyed the video. If so, give it a thumbs up, give it a like, and don't forget to subscribe.